one to the next, generation to generation. Like if my mother has a kasuba, right? So for my in the event that I would get married, I would bring her kasuva, and the new one would be written from it. So it's a generation to generation thing, and it proves my mother's a Jew, and that proves that her mother's a Jew, and it goes all the way up. The fact that she has a kasuva proves that she's a Jew, right? And the fact that I would have this kasuva for my wife, right, proves that I'm a Jew. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Because it's a writing that goes generation to generation. If they can find a kasuba somewhere in that family, in generation after generation, then you can find, if they don't have that, a birth certificate is real good, or a death certificate that says that somebody, one of your family members died and they were Jewish, buried in a Jewish cemetery. That's a good thing to know. Go ahead.
The RCC, the Rabbinical Council of California, is really strict on this. So a friend of mine got his divorce, like a get, that's a Jewish divorce, through the Rabbinical Council of California.
Okay.
And they asked him to prove that he was Jewish.
Okay.
And he couldn't do it. And so they gave him the get, but they wrote on it, "This is not to certify that he is Jewish." I mean, this guy is a member of an Orthodox shul, like, observe the Sabbath, the dietary laws, like, but because he didn't have these documents, that's what they wrote on his divorce. I have a question for you. Are Jews required to pay taxes honestly, or are you allowed to cheat on your taxes and launder money if you give part of the proceeds to support Torah causes?
Wait, say it again?
Do Jews need to pay their taxes honestly, or can they like cheat the goyim of their taxes, and as long as they give some of the money to Torah causes?
No, you have to pay your taxes.
So you're not allowed to launder money even if you give some of the proceeds.
Well, what kind of question is this? What are you alluding to?
Well, I'm actually thinking of one famous rabbi who I'm not going to name, who a dozen people at a talk he gave on Shabbos, so it was not recorded, said it was okay to cheat on your taxes.
He said that?
Yeah, in America.
Yeah,
there was a big Jewish Week article about it. I'm not going to name him, but I was just curious what you thought. Because, I mean, there is a lot of, like, Jews don't tend to go around murdering, and I don't know that Jews are more likely to cheat on their taxes and to launder money than non-Jews, but there's a lot of shady financial dealing in Orthodox Jewish life with taxes, with yeshivas. Like, if the government investigated the books on, I would say, most yeshivas in America, they'd find a lot of rampant cheating going on.
All right. So you want to ask me? I say that I totally disagree with whoever that rabbi is, because it says din and malchus dina, that we must follow the law of the land. That's one thing. So when we're in America or wherever we are, and like there's a law in the books that says you're not allowed to launder money. I don't know how the law is written or anything like that. You can't launder money, right? That goes. So to say that, oh, you're allowed to launder money, and to tell that out, you know, like Jews are allowed to, is going to hefech halacha, because we follow din and malchus dina, which is you must follow the law of the land. So that's false. There's another halacha, and it's brought down in Shulchan Aruch, that everything belongs to the melech. Okay, everything in the king's dominion belongs to the king. Everything that you own belongs to the king. Okay, obviously these people never heard of
Elvis Presley.
No. I'd never heard of the land of liberty and freedom. This was, you know, Shulchan Aruch. I never heard of America, right? We never had a statehood like this, right? They had monarchies. Right? So whatever the king taxes, that belongs to him. So when you cheat taxes, you're stealing from the king. You're literally stealing from the king. I would interpret it that to mean in America, if you cheat on your taxes, you're stealing from the government. Right? So that's a federal crime, and it's called theft. So to say it's okay to cheat on your taxes, it's okay to launder money, is to say that your violation of two different halachas in Shulchan Aruch. So this is someone that's teaching you that to break Shulchan Aruch is okay. So you don't need my opinion any further than that.
Do you think that someone who looks like a Torah Jew someone who seems to keep the Sabbath and pray 3 times a day and keep strict kosher, you think they're more or less likely to be honest in business? And
I say it's irrelevant.
yeah,
I say the two things have nothing to do with each other,
yeah.
right? You could ask your question another way, right? You could ask your question another way. You have a guy, the same guy, right? Just one guy, and you find a time period in his life when, you know, he didn't keep Shabbos, he didn't keep kosher, you know, he walked around, his head was uncovered, and he didn't give a crap about anything. You know, he had nothing to do with Torah. And then he later in life he became frum. And he has a beard and pays, and he keeps Shabbos, he keeps kosher, walks around with the yarmulke, only dates Jewish women. And you say, at what time period in his life is he more likely to, what did you call it?
To be honest in business and to pay his
I'm going to
taxes.
say he is more likely after he becomes frum. Okay? Because he has a year of Shemayim, so
Right.
it's more likely to have. But if you're going to compare him to the guy next door, you can't make a comparison. Because maybe this guy, at his all-time most year of Shemayim moment, is not even holding by the guy next door. Because it's all on an individual basis. And that's why you cannot compare religiosity. It doesn't translate like a constant between households. You can't make such a comparison. Comparing people's religiosity is not something that any human being can do. Only Kadosh Baruch Hu, only God can make such a comparison, because He is the true judge. He is the one that gives everyone their tests. He knows all of our weaknesses, and He is the one who can judge what we've done. Levi can only judge what Levi has done and what Levi is
And
capable.
even then, I'm pretty shaky.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. Now, did we cover the thing about the crypto Jews well enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a pressing question.
But no, I gotta. What? What about that?
Why is your light on a phone book?
Oh, because they need to be equal.
Is that supposed to be like the Leaning Tower of pizza?
Speaking of pizza, I'm hungry. Okay. Brandon asked some questions here. Brandon said, Rabs, do you still get checks? Chicks or checks?
Checks.
Checks. What do you mean by checks?
When did we last get a check? Are we getting a check this month?
Yeah, quiet. We did our appeal at the beginning of the show, Brandon. Where were you? This is the beginning of the month. We accept checks. We're looking for checks, and it's also the start of the new year, and so.
What happened to D. Medic? Maybe he had a bipolar episode and he's locked up somewhere.
No, he's very busy with his work. So.
Oh, I'm glad he's employed.
Yeah, he watches us now on replays. Okay.
Have you seen the movie The Tree of Life?
No, I don't even know what that is. And the television. Oh, I know what he's talking about. More to come. Okay. How about things that seem important on this earth are worthless in the span of the universe?
Anything that's important on this earth has worth in eternity.
No worth.
No, it still has worth.
No,
Like,
I would say the exact opposite.
Better, it says in the Talmud, better a mitzvah in this world than all of the world.
Whoa, you just mixed apples and oranges. The only thing that's important in this universe is Torah and mitzvahs.
And the NFL.
Okay, Torah and mitzvahs are the only thing important. They are more important than the entire creation. They are not worthless when you talk about the entire span of the universe. The entire span of the universe is worthless compared to one mitzvah, compared to following the Torah. Okay? But I thought she was saying something else. I thought she was asking, what about the things that seem important in this world? Right? That seem important, but they're not. You know, like, oh, we saved some trees today. Oh, I hugged a tree, or some shit like that. You know, or, oh, I recycled the plastic bottles, look at me. You know, no, that's not important. And it has no value. And in terms of the entire span of the universe, it's a joke. Okay, so there's that.
So important that the kiddies...
Oh, we're not there. We didn't even do the... we didn't talk about Yom Kippur yet.
Oh.
We didn't talk about the Cowboys. Why are you trying to...
We did talk about the Cowboys.
Oh, we did talk about the
Epic
Cowboys.
collapse.
Oh, yeah, the big collapse. What about what's happening here in this game? 5-4.
Detroit. So we were going to talk about the the forbidden sexual sins that you read aloud on Yom Kippur, this passage from the Torah. Listing
Okay, wait,
forbidden sexual
yeah, but
relationships.
hold on, one thing at a